So when we had finished working on our study, deconstructing masculinities, we realized that there were several unexplored threads. And we felt like the arts was a great way to delve deeper into the emotional residues, fragilities, complexities that shape all of our experiences of masculine and feminine. And it was with that thought that we launched Mirrors, a creative fellowship on masculinities.
This gap is here also.
Yeah.
So if we keep this and this as the...
Fine.
I was not painting or working for a long time. So I think mirrors really helped me to, revisiting my practice and getting back into it. When you work with ink in a specific kind of a way, it floats, it makes different kind of forms, and it can be very fluid. To talk about masculinity or to talk about queerness helps to, think through the medium.
I knew I kind of wanted to do something about navigating masculinity as a non-binary trans person. So my project is kind of around how you present and perform gender in specific physical locations and how those contexts change how you perform them. So I've also made a few miniatures of specific physical locations which have impacted my performance of gender and hopefully will elicit something from all of you as well.
Sumit is here with his photo board.
My work focused on emotional inactivity as a part of emotional inheritance of masculinity in the context of caste, patriarchal, social ethos. In simpler words, it's more like my relationship with my father and me trying to reflect on it through caste. This was of course very personal project and based on my own family photo archives. I also attempted to contextualize the need for an emergence of these collective figures, collective father figures. I specifically examined Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar as a compassionate and accessible father figure.
I wanted to do something on media, so I chose podcast series. These podcasts are basically my experience as a Dalit woman and how I every day deal with masculinity and caste. So I want to bring more from women experiences and their narratives and add dialogue to the ongoing discussion on anti-caste movement.
Okay, A means it will be academic, academicians. B for Brahmins. Right? So in the same way, we have also a dictionary for labor.
Whereas Mirror was kind of a fellowship which actually gave me that platform where I can just go and express myself. So that's how I saw this fellowship.
L stand for labor. Very nice.
By the end of this fellowship, I was able to come up with a 1.5 hour of full comedy set. In this comedy set, I have kind of explored the labor relations, the aspect of love, food, and the kind of masculinity they go through every day.
I think with regard to the fellowship, what was exciting was to be able to work with people from very diverse backgrounds. So that kind of diversity was like a huge learning experience because it makes you questions some of your own fixed notions of gender, as well as your own fixed notions of location and position. And I think with regards to my particular project proposal, it was using the quilt as a medium to look at my own understanding of masculinity and my own journey of masculinity based on my experiences with male role models in my family.
आगाज़ बच्चों के साथ आर्ट एंड क्राफ्ट के थ्रू काम करता है और आगाज़ नाटक के थ्रू अपनी बातें, अपने आसपास की चीज़ें शेयर करता है। एक दिन ऐसे हम सेशन प्लान कर रहे थे और हमने सोचा कि हम ऑब्जेक्ट के थ्रू थोड़ा जाते हैं कि कौन सा ऑब्जेक्ट गर्ल्स का है, कौन सा ऑब्जेक्ट बॉयज़ का है या कौन सा ऑब्जेक्ट दोनों का है। तो वो जो सम कॉन्वर्सेशन जो उनके बीच में हुई वो इतनी सुंदर निकल के आई कि लोग अग्री भी कर रहे हैं, हाँ ये इनका होना चाहिए, कुछ लोग डिसअग्री कर रहे हैं। हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि इसको कैसे एक प्ले में अडेप्ट करके हम इसे दिखाया जाए, लोगों तक पहुंचाया जाए।
It might look a film about wrestlers, but I feel it's very much about me. I have been obsessed with the idea of masculinity and thinking about it from a very personal perspective in my life. My whole idea about the masculinity also changed a lot. How to look at sexuality, how to look at eroticism, what is the difference between that, where does masculinity lie in all this, and when it comes to cinema, how to express those thoughts.
ಹೇಳಿಬಿಡುತ್ತಾನೆ ನಾಭಿಯಿಂದ ಗರ್ವದಿಂದ ಮಚ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯಲೇ ಆನೆ. ಒಂದು ಕಾವ್ಯ ರೂಪಕಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಮಾತಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಕಾವ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಭಾಷೆ ಇದೆ. ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮಸ್ಕ್ಯುಲಿನಿಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ದಿನನಿತ್ಯ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಥಳಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಭಾಷೆ ಇದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಕನ್ನಡ ಕಾಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದು ಗಂಡು ಭಾಷೆ, ಇದು ಗಂಡು ನೆಲ, ಹಿಂಗಿರು ಹಂಗಿರು. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇರೋವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪೇಟ್ರಿಯಾರ್ಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪುರುಷತ್ವ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಭಾಷೆ ಇದೆ, ಪೋಯ್ಟ್ರಿಗೊಂದು ಭಾಷೆ ಇದೆ.
I think the entire notion of context setting was something that I really dwelt on throughout the process. In my case, it's all about soft feminine masculinity, which has been the root of a very important shamanistic practice for the entire Eastern Himalayan region. So here I'm not problematizing masculinity, but I'm bringing forth an entirely new idea of masculinity, which I think has not been explored a lot to a sense, because there is a version of soft masculinity and we really need to tap onto it.
The images of trans men, trans masculine people, trans masculinity, even alternative masculinities that we see are very few, firstly. And then जब दिखते हैं तो they are either like glorified and celebrated, or it's mostly just like trauma and pain and suffering.
ये क्लोथिंग के पीसेस उससे स्टार्ट हुए कि कैसे क्लोथिंग एक आर्मर की तरह एक्ट करता है, कैसे क्लोथिंग एक होम की तरह एक्ट करता है.
So through the mirrors we also wanted to sort of challenge that act of looking. तो अभी तुम मिरर के सामने आओगे तो like you're reading what you're seeing and you have to keep shifting your gaze. And I think as queer trans people, like धीरे-धीरे we unlearn the ways of seeing that we've been taught, and we wanted to sort of also recreate that experience in some way through the mirrors.